Hi guys, Marvin here from shopsadapage.com, and today we're going to do an unboxing and review of the iRocks M36 Pro gaming mouse. A mouse that's almost perfect for me in terms of shape, mouse clickers, and overall performance with just one minor issue. I also have the iRocks K65M mechanical keyboard, but I've decided to do separate videos for these two so that the video will not be too long for you guys. The 65M review is coming up next. With that said, let's get into it. First, let's take a look at the packaging. Pretty straightforward with the image preview and the model name in front. At the side, we have the specifications, system requirements, and the package contents. And at the back of the box, we have the key features of the M36 Pro. So it is using optic-magnet microswitches, we'll dig in deeper on that later, and it also features a decent BMW3360 sensor. And then on the other side of the box, we just have some of the features as well as the model name. This is actually a flip-type design packaging, which is always nice for a mouse so that you can see and touch the shape of the mouse before actually purchasing. At the side, we have some key features yet again, as well as a preview of the software. So let's pop this open and see what comes in the package. Alright, inside the box we have the user manual in both English and Chinese, and then we have the M36 Pro gaming mouse itself. At first look and touch, it looks quite premium, lightweight at around 86 grams as per my own measurements, and I don't see any imperfections at all in terms of the materials used. On top, of course, we have the left and right clickers, the scroll wheel with notches on the rubber lining, 2 DPI adjustment buttons, and at the back we have the illuminated iRocks logo. The texture feels really good, it has this smooth matte finish which I am a fan of. And then on the left side we have the forward and back button, with the forward button being a little bit larger, both of which are very clicky. And then on the other side we have the subtle bump to help with the grip. Looking at the back side, we can see the slight curvature towards the right, a very subtle one compared to other right-handed mice out there. Flipping it on the front side, we have another clear view of that said curvature. And of course, at the bottom, we have 3 mouse feet, the BMW3360 sensor, and the certifications and other technical details about the mouse. Now, with regards to the cable, right off the bat, I am not pretty optimistic about it because it feels stiff as you can tell. Now, while it is durable because of the braiding, I feel like it could cause some cable drag issues later, but we'll see. The good thing is that it has a Velcro strap, which is always nice to have, and the USB plug is gold-plated as well. Overall, in terms of first impressions, I really like the look and feel of this mouse. The left and right clickers feels really light and easy to press. The scroll wheel has defined notches to it. The forward and back buttons are easy to reach as well, even with my small and chubby hands. No issues whatsoever here. The bump on the right side is also nice to have, though it could be a problem to others depending on the size of your hand and your grip style. Later, we'll see how I actually grip and use this mouse for our real-world performance test. But as for my first impressions, it seems to be a comfortable shape, especially with a short-sized bump towards the rear end. Alright, before we move on to the actual performance of this mouse, let's just check out the LED illumination real quick so that we can get that out of the way first. So as you can see, the illumination on this mouse is not something spectacular. It is decent but nothing fancy. We have illumination on the iRocks logo and the scroll wheel as well, and that's about it. Now let's talk more about the buttons and switches of this mouse. Like I said earlier, the forward and back buttons are easy to reach as you can see, and both are very satisfying to click and not mushy at all, which is very nice. The optic-magnet microswitches on the left and right buttons are super lightweight with a crispy click, and as you can see, the buttons gap is quite narrow as well. And for me, this is one of the highlights of this mouse in terms of the reasons why you should get this. This is actually a very good alternative if you like the lightweight actuation force of the Omron switch without the issue of double clicking. Another good thing here is that the grooves on the left and right buttons are pretty substantial to keep your fingers in place. The scroll wheel is also decent, though there's a bit of a wobble but the click is quite crispy as well. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same with regards to the DPI buttons. They are a bit far towards the back, making it hard to reach, and they are both quite mushy to press as well compared to the rest of the buttons. Moving on to the shape and grip styles, the bump is short and towards the back side, which makes this mouse easy to grip and should fit more hand sizes compared to other mice with a taller bump. And as you can see, it is also suitable for most grip styles starting from palm grip, fingertip grip to claw grip and extreme angles as you can see here. The left and right buttons are still clickable. The right side grip is also a nice option, but like I said, it could be a pro or con depending on the size of your hand and the way you grip the mouse. For me, I don't use it because it doesn't really align with my ring or pinky finger, but it also doesn't prevent me from comfortably gripping the mouse because the bump sits in the middle of those fingers. Now, let's discuss about my minor issue with this mouse, and that is about the cable. As you can see, the cable is quite stiff unlike other new mice out there that have lightweight paracord cable. But to be fair, though it's stiff, it's actually not bad at all. As you can see, it is still flexible enough that it doesn't affect the mouse at all when you move it around. However, since the cable is also quite heavy, it presses another issue, which is cable drag. So if you're really serious about your game, you might want to consider a mouse bungee to go along with it. Another thing that's not perfect on this mouse is the Teflon mouse feet. It's not the worst, but it's also not the best, and you might want to consider replacing them as well. But as a default, it is pretty decent. Now before we move on to the real world performance of this mouse, let's do a quick sound test so that you can have an idea of how all the buttons on this mouse sounds, as well as the audible friction sound of the Teflon mouse feet. Alright guys, let's move on to the sensor and the performance of this mouse. The iRocks M36 Pro uses a PMW3360 sensor, which might not be the latest but still pretty decent nonetheless, with up to 12,000 dpi, and is also used by other known brands as well. Lift-off distance is around 2 compact discs give or take, which is pretty decent, and as per my experience, it doesn't spin out at all, and I've pushed this mouse and tried my best to check if it will actually spin out, but luckily it doesn't, as you can see on these examples. It is also quite accurate, and I didn't have any issues with tracking. Now, I'm not yet used to using my entire forearm, so I'm still stuck at 800 dpi, not quite ready to go down to 400 dpi yet. But as per my experience with this mouse right off the bat, I felt the responsiveness and quick actuation force of the left and right mouse clickers, and I really felt like I was moving faster and aiming quicker using this mouse compared to other gaming mice that I've tried before, even those who have PMW3389 sensor. And I think the optic-magnet microswitches are highly responsible for that. Not to mention, it is also not as fatiguing as the Wano switches thanks to its lightweight actuation. Now here's a quick run on a training course. I am no way good at FPS in any stretch of the imagination, but I think you'll still recognize how good this mouse is when being used by a casual gamer like myself. Alright guys, before we finish this video, let's discuss about the software real quick so that you can have an idea how much customization you can do with this mouse. On the home page, we have a preview of the mouse here, and then we have the 5 individual DPI settings that you can configure depending on your preference, and it also has its corresponding color so that you'll know what your current DPI setting is. You can also choose to limit the DPI levels for faster switching, which I think is quite useful. You can also change the cursor speed, mouse acceleration, polling rate, double click speed, and an option to calibrate your surface, which is also a nice feature to have. So you just have to follow the instruction by doing the figure 8 to calibrate your surface. Aside from that, we also have here the import, export, set to default for this particular profile, and reset the mouse entirely to factory settings. We also have here on the right side the lighting synchronization option in case you have another iRocks device that supports this feature as well. You can choose any color that you want from this palette, change backlight effect, brightness, and speed of the animation. Aside from that, you can also set up to 5 different profiles, and you can link them on a program, which is a feature that I always appreciate, making things easier depending on your application. Aside from that, we have the backlight tab, wherein you can configure the lighting effects of the mouse, colors, brightness, and speed of the animation just for this particular device only. And lastly, we have the assignment tab, wherein you can configure each individual button's function if you're into that. And that's pretty much it for the software. It is highly customizable, but I was actually hoping that it has a lift-off distance adjustment option. So to conclude, the iRocks M36 Pro gaming mouse is honestly one of the best gaming mouse that I've tried. and I felt that as soon as I laid my hands on it and started clicking the super lightweight and crispy optic-magnet microswitches, as well as all the buttons around the mouse except maybe for the 2 DPI adjustment buttons that are rather mushy. The BMW 3360 sensor is a proven sensor already and is pretty accurate, doesn't spin out and reliable even on lower DPI settings. The shape is also very comfortable and should fit most hand sizes with a shorter bump and smaller overall size. The weight is not the lightest at 86 grams but is lightweight enough for me. Though I haven't really tried mouse lighter than 80 grams, so there's that. My only problem with this mouse is the rather stiff braided cable, but other than that, I really like this gaming mouse and it's a very easy recommendation. And there you have it guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to check the full article link below. Make sure to watch my review of the iRocks K65M mechanical keyboard as well, which is a good partner for this one. Huge thanks to iRocks for sending this in, you can get this from the link below. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you like this, and comment down below if you want to see more mouse reviews like this. Have a great day.